Okay, now we will look at creating purchasing info records. Purchasing info records is a step whereby we maintain the vendor supplied price for each and every material that we buy from them, because different vendors may supply a material in different prices, so this information needs to be maintained. Otherwise we cannot let the purchase order know that what price should be loaded when we raise a order for a particular material with a particular vendor. Okay, so let us do that now. Let me close this. Okay, purchasing, logistics, material management, purchasing, master record, info record. Okay, this is the place where we maintain the prices for each and every vendor. So in our previous example we have created a material called material A, tire A. So I'm going to enter the price for this material. I'm buying from vendor 40001, and this is the material that I'm buying, and this is the purchasing organization. Okay, NY, and the plant is cannot be Houston, the plant will be NY as well. Okay, so based on this combination I can maintain a price for each and every material supplied by the vendors, but the price that I going to maintain here is only true for this purchasing organization, which means that for the same vendor and material I can maintain different price for Houston purchasing plant. Okay, let us see that now. Not maintaining plant NY. That's strange. Oh yeah, you know why? When we created the material master, we didn't enter the plant, remember? So that's why the system is saying the material tire A is not maintained in plant NY. This is one of the reasons why I didn't do this, because I wanted to show the possible error messages that will be generated. So let's go and create the material for the plant. You don't have to create from the scratch. All you have to do is this. Okay, just enter and then select the view, general plant data storage, this view here, so that we can enter the plant specific material data for this material. Right, choose NY. We can directly enter as well. Let's directly enter, and storage location is, can't really remember, warehouse 1 or something like that. Must be warehouse 1. Yep. Alright, so you have to enter some mandatory data here, or just save it. Okay, created. Let's go and see if it allow us to create the, where was it? Let me go to the screen again. Logistics, material, chasing, master data, info record, create. Okay, tire A, press enter. Not maintained by purchasing. What does this mean? Oh yeah, I haven't entered the purchasing data for this material. Let's go here, tire, select views, this purchasing view, choose purchasing, plant NY, press enter, purchasing group purchasing group is required entry, but we haven't created a purchasing group yet. Okay, purchasing group is something called buyers, a group of buyers, or we can refer to it as a purchasing department, the purchasing clerk, who is responsible to actually to deal with this vendor or for this material. Okay, for example, in a purchasing department, there'll be a purchasing clerk who will be responsible for this material. So he will decide which vendor to buy and so forth. So each group of material will be assigned to a purchasing clerk, so that they can actually know inside out of this material information. So we need to create a purchasing group. So let us create it now. Create purchasing groups. It is just a code assigned to a group of buyer or single buyer. Okay, it is under SPRO, materials management, purchasing, create purchasing groups. Okay, so let's create an entry, purchasing group NY, NY purchasing group. Number something. Okay, this can be a individual person, or it can be a purchasing department, whatever it may be, which is based in NY factory. And we might need one more for Houston, purchasing group, whatever, and San Francisco purchasing group. There can also be many purchasing groups within a plant. So for NY we can have many purchasing groups as well. It depends on you. Save it. Now we are set to go. Okay, so I'm going to specify NY here. Material group. Okay, what is material group then? Material group is a code which is used to group materials of same classification. Okay, so that it will be useful for our reports and other customizing activities. For example, we have tire A and tire B. Both of these materials falls under the material group called tire. So I'm going to create tire. It doesn't exist yet, so I need to create. So let's create a material group for tire. It's just a classification of materials, as simple as that. Define material groups under logistic general, material master, settings for key fields, define material groups. Material group, tire, alright, as simple as that. Come back. Now I can enter tire to classify this material as tire group. So I have entered the purchasing data. Let us see what happens. Okay, it's created. Let's go back now. Let's create the info record again once again. Press enter. Oh, I think you have to quit this screen and come back so that it refreshes. Otherwise the same message will be shown. Press enter now. It looks good. Okay, looks good. Alright, now we can create, we can maintain our prices. Let me see something. Okay, you see this info record here is empty, right? This will be filled when we save this record. A running number will be generated for each and every info record we generate. so that running number will be saved here. Okay, so for example, we can see here what are the okay, I'll show that to you later how it generates. So there are, as you can see here, there are some fields that you need to fill up. Not all are mandatory, we can just ignore this. Okay, these are the reminder letters that can be sent to the vendor to speed up the delivery of goods. Normally we won't maintain this, but vendor material number is something important. Vendor material number is the material number that is maintained by the vendor in his own system for this material. It can be something different. It can be something like tire 001, which refers to the same material, which is tire A, because this is our own code for material and this is vendor's own code for the same material. So this can be maintained for information purposes. Same thing, vendor material group can be entered as well. How they classify these materials: we have classified these materials as tires. They might want to classify these materials as high quality tires or something like that, whatever it may be. And the salesperson responsible to serve us in the vendor's organization and so forth. But okay, the most important thing we need to maintain in that info record is the price. So where do we maintain that? It's not here. We have to click the purchasing organization data here, because the price is maintained based on purchasing organization. As I told you earlier, a vendor might give a different price for each individual purchasing organization. So we need to maintain the prices by the purchasing organization. Planned delivery time, within how many days they can deliver. Normally deliver a good after we place the order. Standard quantity that we order normally, let's order 10. And the minimum quantity, minimum order quantity is the minimum order quantity that the vendor will accept. This should be, the standard quantity should be higher than the minimum quantity. Okay, so GR based invoice verification is defaulted from the vendors purchasing data that we created earlier. Remember, this is defaulted from there. Okay, so this is the place where we have to maintain the net price. Let's say the net price is $5. Each tire will cost us $5. Alright, just for example, or say $50, just for example. And I'm going to save this. Alright, see this number here? This is a number which is generated for this record. So if you want to modify this record, you need to enter this record here and then modify it. Go to change, enter, and I can pull out the same information. Alright, $50. Alright, see this info. This is a running number which is generated for each and every record that you create in this screen. Alright, now okay, now I'm going to maintain a different price for the same material for different vendor. So let's say 4002 does not exist. I'm going to create a center. It says this vendor has not been created for purchasing organization and why. Yes, this is because we have not done this. remember. Master data, where was it? Vendor purchasing, yeah, we haven't created this vendor for this purchasing organization, so just enter USD and press GR base invoice verification. This is, you have seen that this flag is inherited into the purchasing info record, right, earlier. So just remember that. Minimum order value is, let's say, 20. Okay, now let's go and create purchasing info record for this vendor. Alright, it accepts it now. Now let us go to purchasing order. Standard quantity, planned delivery time is 5 days, standard quantity is 15, and now net price, the earlier one we entered 50, right? Now we enter $20 and save it. Right, we are done. Okay, now we are good to go to master data reports.